Okay, once I make sure that we're good. We're gonna just reset that. I deleted the old one. It's whatever, because we're gonna just lose the daily dungeon anyway, so that's not a big deal. I don't know why my internet decides it wants to be shit for random reasons. You can't be serious. Flame flanks to me. Oh, that's cute. How did you... Who are you? It's supposed to happen. That wasn't supposed to happen. They were meant to detain you until the main company arrived. Well, we'll unfortunately lose the first bit of this quest line because the internet wants to be dumb. No, you stay away from me. Alliance, what in the seven hells is going on here? That has caught some rare fish indeed. The Brotherhood of Ash. They shame the Amalja with their putillant refusal to submit to the Lord for its cleansing fire. They're aught but ghosts of a fading past, so lacking in strength, they resort to consorting with the slave races. You are Zangros. I know of you well, Lonoka. Such an intriguing costume you wear. Have you enlisted the army of my people? Enough games, lizard man. What have you done with the captives? Those that proved untraceable were slaughtered. The Flamefangs do not countenance the rebellion of cattle. The rest are already far beyond our reach. Unless, of course, are well beyond your reach. Unless, of course, you intend to assault the Zanrak itself. You civilized people have such an endearing squawks and squeals as your hot blood sizzles in desert sand. Though years have passed, I yet remember your mother and her bleeding cries for mercy. Hell's take you, you bastard. I've never felt such heat. Is this the extent of the resistance I am to face? Is this the vaunted strength and resolve of the Brotherhood? I yield the unquenchable flames of the Lord Ifrit himself, and you seek to extinguish them with a thimbleful of spit. Return to Humjel-Ga and tell him this. The world has no use for spent ashes. Any of his followers shall be scattered before the searing winds of Zanrak's glorious ascension. Alright, it sucks that I lost a bit of the quest line because... But what can you do? Huh? Yeah, the internet just decided it wanted to be stupid, so what can you do? What is it? Lion, I can scarce believe it. A tempered spy within our own ranks. My men killed or taken. Lizard men wanted more than merchants. They were after the immortal flames from the very beginning. And I all but bloody served them up on a silver platter. I beg of you, adventure, save the soldiers and yet live from a fate worse than death. Meanwhile, see what I can do to salvage those tatters at my command. Me too. Too bad. I think if you report, honored ally. This Zagas you encountered is a fetid maw that drives the flame fangs. His sole purpose is to bolster the number of tempered. Each new fire-seared slave feeds the inferno of the god's powers, and in turn the flame of Ifrit's altars blaze the zealots of Zanrak with unholy strength. The miserable sparks of their ambition must be stamped out. Go, honored ally, and break the captives free of their cage. Slay the jailers in their encampment to liberate the keys. Okay. Easy, because that's basically what we do every time we do a daily with these guys. Hold up. Leave me alone, please. Where? Hey, there you are. be that quest done. I don't think he's going to send us something anything else. Then we can work on the next rank. You have dealt our foe a crippling blow, mighty ally. The warrior's blood sings at the thought of the confusion and devastation you brought to Zanrak. Gah, be still. What enrages you so? You know damn well what. It was the animal that savaged my mother. I'll tear out his heart and string him up by his entrails. Know yourself, young warrior. You are not ready to face the likes of Zogosteh. Should you confront your enemy now, you will die at whimpering Curl's death. What are you saying, war leader? Is it because I'm a Kote? If I be too weak to match an Amulja's strength? Foolish child, I say only what you lack material wisdom. You imagine slights where none exist. War leader, Ngah's kin must be avenged. I shall fight at her side. Let us rouse the Brotherhood and smash the Flamefang snake once and for all. Against their assembled ranks, we would but invite our own destruction. Our laws are clear. Ngah is a blood vendetta. None may aid you in this resolution. Only the glory of victory shall the shame of your defeat be expunged. If you are the spirit to run and rail and curse, then use it to build your strength. For strength is all that will aid you now. Bah, since take you all. It is said the drake will drop its own offspring into the ravine to watch it claw its way up. So it is with the Amulja. Okay, so now we grab these. I actually don't think I've seen this weather effect. Interesting. Just as heat waves. ton of those ones. Fuck. Gonna suck. Just do what we can until it pops up. Hopefully catch it. Hey, Dark Phoenix. How's it going? Hope you're having a good day. What am I looking for? Use the smoldering ash. Okay, so I gotta find those. There's one of the beacons right there. Eh, not bad. Having a little bit of an internet issue, so that's always fun. Right now, just doing some daily stuff, and then, I'm not sure. I'm gonna try to get through plot, but that hasn't been happening lately. Other than that, just trying some of the other games I've gotten for Christmas, so... Let's see, you're in a queue right now for dungeons to get to 51. Wait, you're in queue as a white mage? That shouldn't happen. I don't know, every time I proc for healer, it's like instantaneous. The Qs are pretty much like non-existent. We're still waiting for a fate to pop up. But I got some other things I can clear out, so it's not the end of the world. I'm just surprised, like I said, I just never seen it happen. Where are you at? Over here? Always breaking shit over there.
Yeah, so I get attention.
Well, you don't get it if you break things.
Daddy plays video games all day.
Can you not? I had to leave earlier because 3-minute 2 tanks death. Jeez. Are people that bad?
Unless you watch you play.
Stop that. Huh? Yeah, you deserve it. Okay, it doesn't look like it's popped up yet, so... You know how to play heal, but tank didn't know mechanics? I mean, I guess it's kind of... I want to say that's somewhat fair, because you always have new players coming in that aren't going to know stuff. But if you don't know something, just ask. Especially if you're going to play a role like tank. It's kind of okay if DPS kind of takes a backseat, but healer and tanks should kind of know what they're doing. Yeah, but that might not mean much. Multiple. Okay, well, yeah, then there's no real excuse on that one. I was gonna say, isn't there a story skip that you can get to kind of like jump your character to miss some content? But if you're level 90 on multiple jobs, that's... No, that kind of goes out the window. Good on that, good on that. And I just hit the 4 left. I'm not exactly sure what that means. Oh, I see. Finally 60 FPS in Limsa. I'm actually never really in Limsa too much. I need to go there at some point. Because I still haven't picked up any jobs over there. Oh, this keyboard's gonna fucking kill me. Okay. Don't get me wrong, I appreciate getting a keyboard, but damn, it's,
Getting used to it.
I gotta get used to it. Yeah, a little bit. I kind of try to avoid that place while on stream. It's pretty bad. I've been doing this for 30 minutes already. This cannot be the most exciting thing to watch, but I gotta do it. It's completionist in me is like begging for me to do everything. I still need to do a lot of the ultimate fights too. But I'm gonna wait on those until I'm a little higher level. Oh, come on. That's dumb. I hate you. You stupid frickin' lizard. There. It's still not up yet. Don't you dare. You know what? I'm just gonna kill him now. might have to just abandon this one for now. Because anytime there's like a specific one that's like, oh, dude, go do this fate, it never wants to pop up for me. Oh, actually, there it is, isn't it? Let's see. Quenching the flame. Yeah, so I got 10 minutes. We should have this. It's not even gonna be close. Should I bring a reach up to 51 first and grind? That's up to you. I mean, it's the same work no matter what. I guess the only thing is, like, you, if you get all the jobs up, you won't have to, like, constantly run back to, do all your content. Just teleport the little Alamigo. So we're not in this. We don't need anything else over here. Turn all that in, and then I got 3 more quests to do. Oops, what am I doing? Not least, we just gotta feed some hearts to these lizards. Or not hearts, incendiary glands. There you go. Alright. So they're all done for today. Let's go do the... I don't know if are they goblins or kobolds? I think they're kobolds. No, I don't think they're kobolds. No, they're kobolds. Because the goblins are the ones with the masks. Or the... Kobolds, yes. Hmm? So many turns? Yeah, that's kind of the problem with the Beast Tribe quest, is it does get a little annoying when you turn them all in at the same time. Love you. Don't worry, it'll slow down a little bit, because it should be the last bit of Beast Tribe quest I can do. And then I will start to do a little bit, actually no, I gotta do Paladin quest. And then I can do story. No. Okay, let's blow these up. That's it. That'll have us, let's see. All three of those put me at about, oh, that's about maybe a quarter of the way there, so that should be done shortly. Got one more day and the kobolds level up. All I can say is, thank God I'm done with the Ixoks. Those were really annoying. Alright. Good on that. Let's do Paladin. No, it should be one more day because I just turned in those three, so... where am I going? Teleports. We need to go to Ulda. I think it should be up on the upper ring. Give it a roll. There we are. So what does this give us? Oath Mastery increases Oath Gauge by 5 each time an auto attack lands. What? You've earned the right to call yourself a paladin, but how do others treat you? Do they recognize you for what you are? Remember that fancy swordplay and well-polished armor do not make you a paladin. You must be just in your heart and strive always to be an exemplar of true virtue. Once, not so long ago, the Sultan Sword could walk the streets with their heads held high. When they marched by, the small folk would look upon them with reverence and gratitude, and no one was more respected than the captain, my predecessor. When I first saw him, I was still a child. My father had promised me to take me to a local festival, but somewhere he took the wrong turn. We became lost and stumbled into a secluded back alley. He was not with us because the next moment we found ourselves in the middle of a riot. The drunken hunters were firing arrows into the crowd, and we were caught between them. There was no way out. It was only a matter of time before we get to be struck. That's when the captain saved us from our plight. I'd never seen a sword move so swiftly. It flashed faster than the eyes could follow, and in seconds the hunters were on the ground and fleeing for their lives. The captain had gone down the street, slicing at their heels before my father had time to thank him. Even today I could see the captain as he was then, blood on his sword and armor impossibly bright in the sun. After that, all I've ever wanted to be was a paladin. I would practice endlessly with my sword, dreaming of bandits defeated and monsters slain. Even after I had become one of the Sultan's Sworn, the memory of the captain still inspired me. I was always the first to arrive in the training yard and the last to leave. So the years passed, and before I knew it, I found myself named Captain of the Sultan Sworn. Yet the triumph was hollow, because by then, the honor of Sultan Sworn elite, that very thing that had drawn me to the Brotherhood, was a mere vestige, like a discarded banner of the defeated foe. There were many reasons for the fall, but the loss of Oathkeeper, yes, was the mortal blow. The sword Oathkeeper was bestowed upon the first captain of the Sultan Sworn by the then Sultana of Ulda. In time it became our standard, the symbol of our oaths we had sworn. It was treasured by a new captain for generations. Possession was proof of Sultan Sworn's command. But then the unthinkable came to pass. Oathkeeper was stolen by a traitor. It shook our brotherhood to the core. How could we be trusted to protect the Sultana if we can't even hold onto the symbol of our fealty? We have been tarnished in the eyes of the ruler and ruled alike. For the Sultan Sworn to survive, we must find the traitor and recover Oathkeeper. But the Sultan Sworn has grown too weak, and we cannot do it ourselves. We are forced to recruit our outsiders to help us in our cause. If I hopes for you, my friend, it is a great thing that we ask. You must learn more than our secrets of yours to succeed. In outer La Nasia, near the Hermit's Hovel, is a grove where ringtails congregate. Pitting yourself against the hosts of the beast would be a great fine way to hone the skills I will teach you. In the grove you'll find another brazier, this time filled with potent incense that will drive the creatures into a frenzy, defeat our attackers, and return to me. Alright, easy enough. Jeez, how many of these guys do I gotta fight? Damn. Memories of powdered past will open within you. Cool. Kind of interested in what the oath gauge is. I don't think I've seen that. We're good? Did I have to reset the stream? No, I think we're still fine. Almost. Okay, we're good. I don't know why it does that, and it's really bothering me. Well done. You've taken the skills I taught you and made them your own. I do not have a word of either where the traitor is hiding, but I will inform you the moment I do. Until then, continue your training. Okay, so we got Sheltron, which is blocks incoming attacks. Duration oath cost is 50. Okay. The oath gauge displays the current strength of the Paladin's oath, which increases as auto attacks performed. The strong oath is required to execute several select actions such as Shelton, covered, acquired at 45, and intervention at 62, and will grow weaker upon using them. Using certain actions will increase the oath gauge. Got it. Let's see, what do we get next? We get Prominence. Delivers an attack potency of 100 to all nearby enemies, which is a combination of a total eclipse. Got it. Alright, so. I could go do some side quests, but I think I just want to focus on plot for a moment while my internet is still good. So let's go check up on Alpha Node.
Come, you must have gathered by now that Tataru is given to exaggeration. As you can see, I am quite well. Ul'dah, on the other hand, is not. This riot was anything but an isolated incident. There is a restlessness in the air. Tensions long simmering are at last threatening to boil over. Ul'dah is a nation infamous for the great disparity between the wealthy and the poor. The majority of the populace accepts this state of affairs because they believe that every man bears responsibility for his own lot in life. To an Ul'dan, money is the foremost, and some would say the only measure of a man's worth. Small wonder that the wealthiest wield the greatest influence. So where do the refugees fit into this social hierarchy? What place is there for those who fled Alamigo and the destruction of the Calamity? Plainly, there is none. They have no wealth, no power, and no worth. To the Ul'dan way of thinking, they may as well not exist. Choosing to ignore their existence, however, is patently not an option. General Rauban and the Sultana understand this, which is why they ordered the Immortal Flames to provide the refugees aid and succor. Yet none would dispute that the expenses incurred by this policy grow by the day, with no end in sight. This has prompted more and more Ul'dans to question their obligation to aid these worthless wanderers. while more and more refugees have come to resent their treatment at the hands of the sneering citizenry. The manner of Lord Lolorito's refusal to grant the Dolmens asylum bespoke a disdain for all refugees, an attitude shared by the rest of the monetarists. And you may be sure they make no effort to conceal their opinions. It was only a matter of time before the refugees united in protest, nor is it any surprise that some among them would ultimately resort to violence. That the Immortal Flames should choose this of all occasions to engage in joint training exercises with the other Grand Companies. By the time they return, the situation may well have deteriorated beyond mending.
Okay, so we get a little bit of information on the political strife that's been going on. Got it. As I told you before, it was all but inevitable that an incident of this kind would eventually occur given the rising tensions between the Sultanate within the Sultanate. Nevertheless, I have reason to believe that this particular riot may not have been done spontaneously. I piqued your curiosity? Good. Then will you accompany me to the Hall of Flames? I'll hear what General Raubon has to say upon the matter. What is this circle thing? I see a lot of people wearing that for some reason. Oh shit, I ran right past the Hall of Flame. My bad. Thank you. No, it's not a good time, Lieutenant Hart. My hands are full dealing with the refugees. Precisely the matter we wish to discuss, General. Alpha Node, back on your feet already. You may credit my swift recovery to your Cherugians. My memories of the riot are somewhat muddled. I trust you managed to regain control of the situation? Not entirely. We secured the city soon enough, but not before the unrest had spread to the surrounding territories. Pockets of resistance remained throughout Danelin. We have sent word what forces we can spare to root out the last of the belligerents, but progress is slow. They're damnably evasive. I can well imagine, given that the majority of the refugees live outside the walls, it stands to reason they would know the lay of the land. What I do not understand is how they came to be so well prepared. Before my little accident, I observed that several of the refugees were armed, not with butcher knives and pitchforks, but with martial weapons. I need hardly add that such equipment is costly. None can deny the tensions between the Alden citizenry and the refugee population has increased since the Doman were turned away. But what would motivate a starving man to purchase arms in lieu of food? I think not. And what of those who have not even a single guild to spend? We could not survive without the aid provided by the Immortal Flames. Surely they would sooner sell a weapon than bring it to bear against their benefactors. Come to the point. Very well, my point, General, is that this powder keg of discontent was not set alight by chance. These events were deliberately set in motion and now order must be restored. That is my first duty. Until it is done, any investigation can wait. I do not have time to discuss this. My scouts will be returning soon. The General is no fool. He keeps his own counsel, and with good cause. Were he to claim, without the necessary proof, that these riots were instigated by outside forces, the monitors would accuse him of attempting to shirk responsibility. After all, he and the Sultana have been the most outspoken proponents of refugee aid. Regardless, we would face harsh criticism in the days ahead. Our allies may stumble upon the truth in time, but I have far more faith in your abilities, Lions. Therefore, I propose we conduct our own investigation, independent of the authorities. To that end, I would have you make inquiries at the settlements suspected of harboring belligerents. Commander Swift will know which they are. You may balk at the request for such information, but I have no doubt you can persuade him with your silver tongue. I, meanwhile, shall seek answers in my own way, after which we can regroup and share our findings. Well then, shall we? You look as though you have something to say, Lieutenant Hart, do you? What you ask is no simple favor. Were such information to fall in the wrong hands, the lives of countless soldiers would be at risk. Even so, there is wisdom in your words. Any able individual, even one with ties to the flames, may be better suited to this task than a regiment. Very well. The Brass Blades have reported suspicious activity in the vicinity of Lost Hope. It may be unrelated to recent events, but we doubt it. I suggest you begin by speaking with the Blades posted there. Alright, so where is Lost Hope? I'm actually not sure where that's at. That is... or White Blackbrush. Got it. What brings you here, adventurer? A search for refugees? And you've come to the right place. Oh, you mean those refugees? No, you won't find them here. Most of the people of Lost Hope have come to accept their situation and are content to pass their days in peace and quiet. Outsiders have trouble understanding that, like that merchant who passed due recently. Gregarious fellow, but awfully opinionated. Can't say I was sad to see him go. Friend of the Sultanate, are we? I take it means someone has read my report. Refugees who left with the merchant have yet to return, and I'm increasingly concerned with Zezawaka's suspicions were correct. You haven't forgotten what I'm talking about, do you? Never mind, speak with Zezawaka. He will explain everything. Oh, I got another quest? I don't think I can do that one yet, can I? 35. Alright. Don't hurt me. I'm not one of them. Beg your pardon, you're with the Flames, but you're not with the Flames, I see. If Leofric did bid you speak with me, then I take it you've agreed to help. 'Twill be praised for that, because we haven't a moment to waste. Everyone knows the Flames are on the march. Those have fallen under that fanatic's spell, but not I. Promises of revolution and retribution, of holding the ruling class to account and take what it is owed. Childish fantasy. I did everything I could to dissuade the others from leaving. Few had heeded my words. Now that one of our idealists have returned, however, the madness of the merchant's plan is plain for all to see. Look over yonder tent, and you'll understand why. Even now he babbles incoherently, so traumatized is he by the bloodshed he witnessed. Try as I might, I can make little sense of the words beyond the fact that he was not alone in surviving. I have no doubt that the merchant will lead the remainder to their doom. I beg you, find them before he does. And I was a bit to say, have you a stranger? You've come from the Church of Saint Amada Ladama. The Valkin repellent. The good father told me last moon of his plan. He's a man that keeps his word. It was kind of him to have you deliver it. Did he tell you where and how these are to be used? I fear I have little knowledge of alchemy. Well, we will deal with that later. Yeah, actually, you know what? We're here now, so... Thank you, stranger. This place may seem wretched to you, but none here would deny it is. But last year it had the look of a carnal house, so fiercely did the pestilence rage. Tell Father Ilud we owe him a debt of life. I confess, though, I wonder if we are saved from a plague only to perish in war. We have little love for Growlermouth here, and news of them who burned our homes trails fast. What chances does Lost Hope have against a force that plucked Alamigo like a ripe peach? Bite or flee, we must make plans. If few have ears to listen to me. I have too much to fear already. Too many demons to slay each hour. What are you doing? Don't draw. Don't draw, don't draw, don't draw, don't draw. Why didn't you run away with me? We could have escaped together. You'd be here with me. Here to soothe me. Why'd you have to stay and leave me alone? Okay. No, we don't do the Manderville at him. You didn't have to stay and fight. You didn't have to. You'd be here to soothe me instead of. Okay. So soothe. Who are you? What do you want? It's true. I followed the merchant and made the gods strike me down for my folly. What they will not give, we must take, he said. When he asked how, he revealed a cache of weapons he had bought and implored us to seize control of our fates. I thought about running then and there, but the others were so excited. He split us into 2 groups instead of us off on our own. But when the flames found us, we didn't know what to do. Our leader tried to parley with theirs. They started arguing and then fighting, and then everyone was fighting. And then the flames were shouting to give no quarter, and God's the other group. They're still out there. If we don't stop them, they'll be massacred like mine was. The other refugees are hiding in a cave south of Lost Hope, but to approach them would be fruitless. They would sooner call us agents of the Sultanate than try to kill us, than try to listen to reason. Why, the twins might even deign to do the deed themselves. Pox on all the bloody sellswords. They were supposed to train us to fight. The ones he sent us vanished during the struggle. Oh, if only we had never listened to that merchant's ridiculous claims. He said our cause was righteous, that the gods will never suffer us to be defeated. Oh, if we were forced to confront reality, that's it. Challenge the twins to combat and show my brethren that their strongest warriors are no match for one man. Perhaps then they will agree to lay down their arms and renounce this plot. Seven hells, they found us. Everyone, grab your gear and make for the rendezvous point. So what's your game? That's your game, is it? Sorry to disappoint you, lad, but we're more than willing to kill you ourselves. Alright. Could have been easy. Beat him like it was nothing. The Almighty, what are we gonna do now? Oh no, okay, so he's done. I gotta go talk to the terrified one. You've returned. Did you find my brethren? What are the twins? What happened? See, so you had no choice. Better a handful of them take a beating from you than a lot get butchered by the flames. Tell me, what did the merchant have to say when it was all over? Huh? Where else would he be? Unless he went to Stone's Throw to recruit others. The merchant wished to approach the refugees in Stone's Throw, but was waiting until the flames withdrew their forces from the vicinity. Now that they have, there's nothing to stop him from continuing his work. How many more must perish in pursuit of the feudal cause? How much more suffering must be endured before it ends? Find him, convince him to cease his mad quest. It will surely lead to ruin. I forget um, how many quests are between Realm Reborn and Heaven's Ward? Isn't it like 80 quests? Fuck, it's gonna be a long time. Thank you. Have you seen my parents?
You mean the dead ones?
Stop. It's terrible.
Am I gonna be wrong?
They told me to stay here with the others. They said they'd be back soon, and it'd been days. They left me with a man from Ulda and said they were going to change everything, make it so we could live within the walls with everyone else. I liked it when he said that. I didn't like it when he talked about making the rich people pay. Everyone looked so angry, and I got scared. Say, mister, are you looking for someone? I'm looking for a merchant. You mean the man who left with my parents? But I don't know where he... Wait, look, over there. I think that's him. Well now, which one of these gullible fools shall be my next mixed victim?
That one, obviously.
You, He's getting away. Go get him, mister. Okay, so couldn't have gotten too far. You again. Why are you pursuing me? Sedation? Treason? Revolution? That's preposterous. Who has filled your head with these lies? Refugees? The still same refugees who terrorize the streets of Ulda? Huh. You have no evidence to prove your accusations. None. No, I will not accompany you to the Hall of Flames. You have no right to detain me. For the sake of argument, let's say I did do those things you claim. Surely you don't think I give a Cucurin's ass about politics. It was business. Only business. Both know that I'm not the one you want. However, if you agree to protect me, I swear I will tell you everything. What's all this commotion? Oh, this looks real bad as a bar, doesn't it? Seven hells. Tell the others to spread out and search the area. The killer may still be close.
Are they gonna do cams? No, stop, don't.
Hold, adventurer. I would know more about the relationship with the victim, as well as the events leading up to his death. The man was responsible for the recent riots. I hope he was murdered on debt of gratitude. In any case, it's obvious you are not the one whom we seek. We may carry on with our investigation, Scion. Again, you have no reason to believe that, especially as a bard. But whatever. So now we gotta go back to Ulda. What news, Lieutenant Hart? Where's the merchant? Murdered. Damn it, all the seventh hell. He was not simply murdered, Lieutenant. He was silenced. Too many knew of his face, and he was ready to divulge his secrets. Do not despair, though. We may be closer to identifying the true orchestrator of these riots than you realize. The Flame General left word that you were to proceed to the fragrant chamber as soon as you return. We wish to discuss your recent discoveries as well as the result of our own investigation. Master Alphinaud has already been informed and should be waiting for you outside. Pray proceed to the Holy Promenade with all haste and speak with the Bartholomew. That's the wrong place. I need to go to the Chamber of Rule. I do not know why I clicked that. We've been expecting you, sir. Please proceed inside.
Commander Swift has kept us apprised of your recent activities. You've made great strides towards quelling the violence.
Despite our best efforts to determine what provoked this uprising, the truth continues to elude us. Have you uncovered aught which might shed some light on the mystery?
This information does not leave this room. The Syndicate's decision to reject the Doman refugees' appeal for asylum had lasting repercussions. A number of those displaced by the calamity claimed it was proof of a policy of discrimination. Together with a group of Alamegan refugees, they organized a series of demonstrations to protest against the Sultanate. Demonstrations which became heated, but did not descend into violence. Until a certain incident served as a call to arms.
A unit of brass blades sent to supervise a demonstration loosed arrows upon unarmed protesters.
Oh, that's extremely fucked.
It was this atrocity which prompted the refugees to take up arms. I need not tell you what followed.
We assumed at first that the attack was born of a miscommunication. When emotions run high, they happen. But suspicions were raised regarding the unit's commanding officer, whom I ordered interrogated. Sure enough, our fears were soon confirmed. The dog confessed that a merchant had offered him coin to give the order. A merchant in the employ of Teleji Adeleji.
Teleji Adeleji? But he spoke in favor of the Doman's cause, and has ever seemed sympathetic towards the refugees' plight. Why would he do such a thing?
Know you of the Cartano Reclamation Bill? It is a proposal to annex the Cartano Flats so that refugees may establish permanent settlements.
When last I looked, that was disputed territory.
Aye. Some might even call it a battlefield. The destruction wrought by Bahamut was greatest at the Cartano Flats. That much is common knowledge. What is less well known is that his rampage laid bare ancient Alagon ruins, of which no record existed. There are certain differences of opinion as to how these ruins should be handled, which is why each nation maintains a military presence in the region to this day. Yet differ though we may, we are still allies. Therefore, In the interest of preserving the Eorzean alliance, we have reached an agreement. Any conflict which may arise during the course of military exercises in the region shall have no bearing on relations between our nations. In full knowledge of this delicate state of affairs, Teleji Adeleji proposed the Cartano Reclamation Bill, a shameless bloody ruse which stands to benefit him in but one conceivable way. If successful, he will gain control over the disputed territory under the guise of assisting in the resettlement effort. And you can be sure he'll build an orphanage next to every Allagan ruin.
The man would threaten the unity of the Eorzean alliance and risk countless lives for personal gain.
He walks a path all his own, independent of any faction and beholden to none of his fellows on the Syndicate.
By inciting the less fortunate to violence, he hopes to convince others that the Cartano Reclamation Bill is the only viable solution. His sympathy for the plight of the Domins was not but posturing to gain credibility with the refugees. Of that there can be no doubt.
Forgive me, but what could possibly motivate Teleji Adeleji to go to such lengths? What is so special about these ruins that he would risk his position on the Syndicate, and, most likely, charges of treason against the Sultanate?
Omega.
Pardon?
An Allagan monstrosity, not unlike the Ultima weapon. Mayhap larger, we know not. It has yet to be fully excavated. Allagan inscriptions indicate that it was created to fell Bahamut himself. If accurate, it might explain why Nail Van Darnus chose to bring the Red Moon down upon the Cartano Flats, given the ends he went to ensure Eorzea's annihilation. Destroying the one weapon which could stay the Elder Primal may well have seemed like good sense.
When first I bore witness to the power of the Ultima weapon, I doubted the evidence of my senses. And now you tell me there is another such weapon, one which could contend with Bahamut. Bahamut!
Aye, we were skeptical ourselves. Truth be told, until the Ultima weapon's existence came to light, we thought the inscription had been mistranslated.
At present, Omega is more akin to a fossil than a tool of war, having long since ceased to function. As such, its true potential cannot accurately be gauged. However, if someone were to restore it, as the Garleans did the Ultima weapon, I have little doubt that he would wield untold power.
Power enough to subjugate Uldar like as not, and the rest of Eorzea besides, which is doubtless why Teleji Adeleji yearns to have it.
That he should aspire to world domination. He who has ever walked 2 paces behind Lord Lolorito in matters of commerce.
'Tis in acknowledgement of his own limitations that he seeks this power. Woe betide us all should we allow him to have it.
Pray waste no time chasing rats. Only a fool would believe that secrets can be kept in Uldar.
It would seem the implications of the Sultanate's refugee problem are rather more far-reaching than we assumed.
Right, so that's done. Stories we tell. It's weird how much is it being introduced now that's not even going to be touched up until we get to Stormblood. I should be glad to know the truth, and yet the thought of all this chaos was the product of one man's lust for power sickens me. How long do we tend to hide the existence of Omega from the science? That they even felt the need to do so is most troubling. It would be in our best interest to learn more of the military activities in the disputed territories, and fortunately we are already well positioned to do so, Lieutenant Hart. Pray keep us informed of any developments in Cartano. Begone, whelp. This is no place for children. I'm sorry. I was looking for you, mister. You said you were looking for the man who left with my parents. You know this girl? So he visited the stone's throw as well, I see. Did you find the man? Were my parents with him? They were not, I'm afraid. However, I can think of several places they might be. If you'd like, we can go and look for them together. Really? You'd help me look, mister? Of course, but first I must finish speaking with my friend. He's telling me a secret, you see, and no one else is allowed to listen. Perhaps you could wait for me by the pillar over there. It will require but a moment. Okay, mister, I'll be waiting. Take her to the quicksand. Perhaps Momodi will know what to do. A legion of Garleans, an Aether, starved primal, even dealing with an Ascian would be preferable to the charade. Sometimes I fear Minfilia is too ambitious. We rush hither and yon to respond to threats as they arise, without concern as the strain it places on our limited resources, in ourselves. Perhaps the time has come for a change. Lions, this is Minfilia. I know this is sudden, but I must ask you to return to Revenant's Toll with all due haste. The situation at Twellswood has taken a turn for the worse. Explain in detail once you arrive. The Twellswood, then a primal threat she spoke of before has been confirmed. I have received no reports of Ixaly activity, which leaves the Sylphs. Go, Lions. You know well that the appearance of a primal takes precedence all over all else. Oh, and when you arrive, do inform the Antecedent that while I am grateful for her concern, she needn't fear for my safety. I am more than capable of protecting myself. So let's see what Minfilia has to say. I think this is the start of the Ramo Primal. It's a relief to see you are healthy and hale, Lions. The latest news from Ulda was most disturbing. The only injury Avanode suffered was to his ego. Doubtless it will heal ere long. But the Scions will need to be present for this meeting. If you are ready to begin, I will summon them now. Thank you for responding to my call with such haste. Rest assured, I should not have summoned you if it were not urgent. To business then. I have received some most disturbing news from the Order of the Twin Adler. They have reason to believe that the Sylphs may have called their revered guardian the Primal Ramu. I'm sorry, may have? Then it is not certain. The Elder Seateer informs us the elementals themselves murmur of the Lord Eleven's return to the forest. The Sylphlands, however, display no sign of undue commotion. Forgive me, Antecedent, but the fact need not contradict the Elemental's testimony. Unlike his most bellicose compeers, Garuda and so on, Ramu is reputed to act only in defense of his children. I imagined he would soon make his presence known if any were foolish enough to directly endanger themselves or their territory. The abruptness of this development concerns me. Were we not keeping a close watch on the touched ones and their movements? The preparation for summoning a ritual was indeed underway, it would surely not have escaped our notice. Oh, it didn't, and I was pretty sure it was going to happen, just not this soon. I beg your pardon, you foresaw this eventuality and did not to prevent it. I told Papa Limo. I suppose I could have reported things to Minfilia earlier, but there honestly wasn't much we could do except wait and see. You know how the Siths feel about people poking around in their territory. They already summoned Ramu once right after the calamity, but that was because of the Garleans came trampling through the forest. And as long as Cassium Orin stands, the Sylphs cannot be blamed for wishing to have their guardian deity on hand. In short, Yida and I are in agreement. The actions of the forest folk were inevitable and unavoidable. And I maintain that the observation would have remained the best policy had it not been for the sudden influx of strangers into the Black Shroud. That, alas, we did not foresee. By all accounts, the recent violence in Ula drove a number of refugees to seek safety under the concealing canopy of the trees. It is like the Sylphs perceived this panic migration as yet another invasion and quickened their efforts to summon their god. I am put in mind of Titan and the Kobolds. Once again, it is the affairs of men which have paved the way for Primal's coming. Indeed, one cannot help but wonder what manner of place Eorzea would be without the civilizing influence of mankind. Be it as it may, the regrettable development does afford us a unique opportunity. Lions, though your dealings with the Sylphs of Little Solstice, you once succeeded in preventing an untimely conflict with Gridania. I wonder might one be to have treated with the Sylphs so fruitfully in the past not achieved similar success with the patron deity. If Ramu can be convinced of your intentions, it may be the first step to breaking the cycle of primal summoning. A fond hope. Were such a thing possible, we would have not been at war with the Beastmen since time immemorial. But maybe this time we can. Let's continue this discussion anon. We must needs first consult with the nation most affected by Ramu's presence. The other Seedseer has requested your personal involvement, Lions. Pray report to Commander Hulux at the Adler's Nest and see as soon as you are able. Steel yourself for the worst. While I hope for the peaceful resolution to the matter, experience suggests that your meeting with the Lord of Levin will prove less than amicable. In such an event, your fellow Scions will, of course, lend you whatever support you require. Alright, so gotta go Gridania. I don't know if I'll be able to get to the fight tonight, but I'll do as much as I can. Ah, Lions of the Scions. May I deduce from your stern expression that you heard the disturbing news? Garuda returns once more to plague our nightmares. Garuda? I fear the incantation of the lady is more tempestuous than aught we have yet witnessed. Prepared to face this rolling storm, then I will be brief on what must be done. Excuse me? Lions of Scions, your arrival has been most anticipated. The appearance of the Primal is ever a cause for alarm and unease. Though my men stand ready for any eventuality, I know of none more qualified than you to snuff out this threat. Indeed, I have you do so without delay. The other Seedseer herself would speak with you first. She is of the opinion that your diplomatic, rather than martial skills, may better serve our cause. I will leave further explanation to our learned leader. Pray make your way to Nanifica's altar, and the conjurer and attendants will admit you to the Lotus Stand. We first learned of Garuda's return when the Primal fell on the Blue Badgers as they sought to construct a new watchspire. The devastation was absolute. According to the report, one surviving engineer, Garuda invoked the most horrific gale with a gesture of her taloned hand. The powerful winds tore apart half-built tower, crushing the workers and shattering their broken bodies like dolls. All accounts, it appears the Lady of the Vortex has grown stronger with this summoning. She must be stopped before the casualties are allowed to pile even any higher. But as you might imagine, the Ixal, eager to please their bloodthirsty goddess, are engaging our troops at every front. I have not the soldiers to spare for this primal hunting expedition. As I sent word to the Science to beg the aid of proven champions, you and your companions are our best hope for freeing Gridania's rampaging. Didn't read that completely. I would ask that you confront Garuda in her customary domain, the Howling Eye. Such a titanic conflict is best confined to Ixal lands, wouldn't you agree? Though I imagine the Birdmen have since made adjustments to the crystal. The Beastman Aetherite found within Nathan remains the surest means of entry. May the 12 strengthen your arm, Lions.
Scions of the Seventh Dawn, on behalf of the people of Gridania, I bid you welcome. Your presence is of great comfort to us all in these days of uncertainty. I summoned you here to share tidings of a most urgent nature. But a short while ago, the great elemental spoke, and his voice was clarion in its intensity. Ramu is returned unto the forest. Scarce had his words ceased to echo in mine ears when we were visited by an emissary from Little Solace. Our guest informs us that the Sylphs too have sensed the presence of the Lord of Levin. Though his exact whereabouts remain unknown, we may safely assume that the Primal was summoned within the heart of the Sylphlands. Unlike the other Primals you have encountered, Lord Ramu is no raging avatar of destruction. He is revered as much for his wisdom as his strength, serving as both arbiter and guardian to his children. Given that we and the Sylphs found a way to share the Twelves Wood, it is my hope that this sagely immortal will be amenable to reason, and that conflict may be avoided. Blessed as you are with the power of the Echo, you are one of the few among us who may commune with a Primal without fear of influence. I would ask, therefore, that you represent us in this most delicate of negotiations. The Twelves Wood has suffered enough. Upon this, we and the Sylphs, and I would venture Lord Ramu himself, are in perfect accord. Let us not endanger our shared home by engaging in unnecessary hostilities. Dear friend, I beseech you, safeguard the peace which exists between our peoples. You have my thanks. Pray make for Little Solace, then. A member of the Order of the Twin Adder awaits you there. He will advise you on how to find the Lord of Levin. An ill wind blows through the forest. Yet, it is not only the Twelves Wood that flinches at its coming. All the land's Veorzia shiver in dread anticipation. Have care.
Okay, so I need to go to Solstice now. Line of the Science. I was told to expect you. I understand you go to treat with the Primal Remu himself. An enviable task, but one for which I have no doubt you are well suited. I have been told that your fellow Scions are conducting an investigation in the area as we speak. We must ascertain the location where the Lord of Levin may be found. I ask you to abide here until they return with their findings. I was told that the messenger would be sent as soon as your fellow Scions finish their investigation. I'd imagine it would be much longer. This one returns with good tidings. Wise ones have finished searching and have wisely identified the precise location where the Touched Ones summoned Lord Ramu. Your timing is impeccable, my flattery friend. Would you be kind to escort this good man to his fellow Scions? It would be this one's pleasure walking one. Please come with this one. I'm so glad I got already done with those beast drag quests for these guys. Fuck how they talk. Wise One has ventured deep within the Sylphlands. These ones must proceed carefully and keep an eye out for Touched Ones. Or I could just fly over it all. This one is most sorry, but this one can go no further. Draw too close to Lord Ramu. This one must turn mean and nasty like Touched Ones. So this one must say farewell for now. Walking One will find Wise One not far from here. Go to south, go in safety, Walking One. So it's actually you. I'm relieved. For a moment, I thought that we're dealing with another one of those confounded sylph tricksters. I swear, with them wreaking havoc with their skin-changing tonics, it's a wonder I was able to finish taking my measurements. Yes, it's quite the ordeal. You should have seen the look on Y'shtola's face when one impersonating you suddenly showed up. It's quite enough, Papalimo. My apologies. It's not like me to ramble so. At any rate, as I was saying, I was measuring etheric activity in the area, and I'm pleased to say I have reached an indisputable conclusion. To wit, that Ramu has called forth in the vicinity the Sylph's Aetherite. Come, Lions, the Lord of Levin awaits. I'm pretty sure that's like one of the quests they cut out, because I remember there's a whole thing where like the Sylphs would pretend to be the other Scions, and you had to throw like stink bombs at them to reveal that they were actually Sylphs.
Ainora be betrays thee, servant of hiding? Thou art the bringer of light, bane of Ifrit, Titan, Garuda, and Leviathan. I am Ramu, guardian of the children of the forest. Thou tramplest upon sacred soil, bringer of light. By what right doth man intrude in this sanctuary of the sylphs? The Gridanians proffer peace? Their words are born of delusion, thine offer an insult. Thou speakest of harmony, yet carest naught for my children's desires. They did but wish to dwell beneath these boughs in solitude. Yet even that was too much to ask of man. Thus did they turn to me for succor. The sentence I pronounce upon thy kind is just. Redanian or Garlean, it matters not. The good intent of one excuseth not the misdeeds of the other. Thy conflicts have brought naught but anguish and misery unto the forest. All blame doth lie with the darkness that resideth in the breast of man. Whence sprung this calamitous seed?
Oh, god damn it.
It would explain much. Not least why strife and sorrow follow ever in thy wake. Thou canst not deny the urgings of thine own nature. Knowing that thy mere presence here portendeth tragedy, wilt thou persist in this pretense of peacemaking? Thou bearest the crystal which I bestowed upon my wayward charges. That they should entrust so precious a gift to thee. Thou standest apart from thy kin. Thou art the bringer of light, aye. But there is something more in thee. Very well. I shall consider thy proposal. Shouldst thou survive my trial. If thou wouldst champion the cause of harmony, I must have proof that thou art fit to play the role. Wither mine ire, and prove to me thereby that thou hast strength enough to stay the darkness which threateneth to consume thee. Yet if thou shouldst be found wanting, know that all men shall perish in the storm of my judgment. Come to me, bringer of light. I shall await thee on the field of battle.
Urianger, it is rare indeed to find you so far from a tome.
The Lord of Levin himself. Never till this day had I looked upon his visage, save in painted renderings made faint by time. Ever shall this scene remain etched in my mind's eye. Beg pardon, my lady. I must beg thine aid on a point of research. If thou art resolved to face Lord Ramu, I would ask thy leave to observe the event.
Might save the actual fight for next time, because I'll be wrapping this up shortly. Striking tree hard, now accessible. Okay. we'll save that for next stream. For now, though, we can go over to little, what's it, Camp Drybone? Let's go Camp Drybone. Okay. Where's the turnip head? He's already waited for some hours for my cousin, and still he dallies all knows where. He is ever late. I do not understand why he can't simply depart early. Still, I confess I am fond of the fool. I would go look for him but his route winds close to the Halatali training grounds, and they say it's a romp of beasts there. Beasts of the most dangerous kind. You're an adventurer. Surely this is the sort of thing that, I don't know, makes your blood sing, heart boil, and arrows of prickle. Will you look for my feckless cousin? You say that you're that wonder-working adventurer. You can work some for me today. See, the father asked me to mend this vestment, but look, both the raft and reef have gone there and there. I need some cloth more cloth than I have. There's a merchant in the Blackbrush station right now. He'll give you what I need. Hurry on. Off to Central Denelin you go. The sun has shone upon a terrible sight today. One of the bereaved wished to be placed upon the grave of his beloved, a sprig of Althic lavender. He strayed far for the flower, and sparse in these parts. He is grievously wounded by fiends. Grief made us all slow in wits and limb. I fear that these attacks will not cease until the creatures are gone. I pray you, banish the foul things. They were last seen to the east, near the remains of the Gubu. Okay. You know where that's at. We're going to turn this in real quick. Thank you, Lion. Sometimes for what ails us in thinking, we need relief in doing. The ministrations to exiles is one of the duties of the Church of Saint Adama Ladama. I pray that someday, with the grace of gods, we can find again what they have lost. You know what? I might as well do that one as well, since it's like right there. Thank you thrice. Saw those nasty little brutes coming and thought nothing really beyond. Ah, we really should take old Halatali down. The price has absolutely gone to pot. Look at the time. Mustn't keep the burial waiting too much longer. I suppose my cousin Fodrick, she's the over-tight corset, is none too pleased. And then finally we need to go to Blackbrush. Came from did you? I was wondering when she'd gone to. Stopped by her shop the other day, was going to offer her a cup of tea. She missed a nice one, an amber tip from Cothras. Her usual, assuming, the tattered linen? Yes, sir. Now don't you go misapprehending, it's nice and soft. So she pulls out the threads and reweaves what she's mending. Here you go. Okay, so now we go back, turn these in, and that's probably going to do it for me tonight. When the calamity struck, it sundered life everywhere, and not only among our races. Look around, and you will see how things have fallen apart. Feet, claw, roots, all have been torn from the earth they were planted on. The dead Gilbert was a child of Cothras. The calamity shredded its native mountains, and it fled before the destruction as a craven flies before a sandstorm. Yes, it wandered. We found it dying, and it received its memories. It gathered seeds from every land it passed through, and they flowered upon its corpse. Living map of its loss and exile. North to south, mountains to desert, cloudberry to shooting star, marybells and cliff roses, Altic leather from lower Thanlin, even rosaries from Bloodshore. To wander is a dream and a nightmare. But you such as yourself must know it better than I, and I imagine there are days when the flame of adventure, gutters, and you feel yourself to be bereft of those and lost hope. And upon us, no flowers grow. God. So generous his father eluded in so many ways. He feeds, clothes, and physics them tirelessly, yet he has none to do for him what he does for others. I would show him my appreciation with a special gift, but sadly my meager purse is not enough. We speak with the other brothers and sisters and see whether they too feel as I do. I have made arrangements with Emigard, who runs the concern at Camp Drybone. If you are successful in raising the funds, will you deliver the guild to her? There you are. Did you get what I need? Much appreciated. Much appreciated, adventurer. Now we'll see how nimble these fingers are. The father needs this right soon, he said. Going out on some priestly business. This is a piece of piss compared to the last order, though. Excuse the salty talk. 'Twas big as a house and burnt as slattern supper. Father Ilwood brought it, and it looked to be for the lich-keeper fellow. Oh, thank you. He was absolutely incorrigible. But to think we might have had to bury him as well. Then again, that's one barrel he wouldn't have had been laid for. That's a thought. Let's see. Reduced damage taken by... Okay, so that's another one of these. So we're going to pop that up there. Okay. I'm not going to do any more at this point. I'm just going to call it there and... I don't know. Continue more. Actually, do primal fight next time. I don't think we'll get to Shiva. I'll try my best to get as much done. I don't even think I'm halfway to Shiva.